Hello and welcome to PM Home Edition. I'm Sean McMullen with Sighthound Home Services. Today we are going to be talking about expansion breaks on exterior walls. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here we are on the exterior side of this wall. This house has brick veneer, and there's a big crack right here. What is going on with this big old crack? You take a further look and it's like, man, it's just a big old brick wall and there's a big old crack right there. Well, that's actually designed that way. This crack is considered to be an expansion joint for this brick wall. That way, as it contracts and expands with cold and hot weather, you don't get cracks in other locations. So they do a big seam here, if you will, and then it gets filled in with a good silicone exterior grade sealant that is flexible. But after years of hot and cold, expanding and contraction, this sealant can become brittle and dry, start to crack, or it can start to separate. You can see here, if I get in real close, you can see it's starting to come apart from this brick right here, and this mortar is starting to separate. So we're going to take a look at what's going around this house and see if we can find any opportunities for sealing. Okay, so here we go. Here's another expansion break, and we're going to take a look at that. That one looks to be in pretty good shape. No worries there. Different types of exterior meeting. So here we have a brick meeting with a stone, and then it's got mortar in between. And as you can see, that's a really good seam. There's no cracks, no spots for water to penetrate in, so that's good. Another popular spot to check is going to be around the garage door. We have stone hitting wood, and you can see the sealant is starting to degrade and separate. So now that's going to allow moisture to come into this structure. Again, we don't want moisture coming into the structure, so we'll need to go ahead and make sure that gets cleaned up. Now you can see that one's been painted to match the trim around the garage door. Here's another one here. This is a good example. You can see how they kind of have it all globbed up in here, but it's still flexible, so that's good. It's not dry and hard. It's just starting to peel away a little bit. So you don't have to completely remove it all and start from scratch, but you can kind of see how the nice little builder quality there, but just it's kind of gooped down onto the brick face itself. But let me show you how what tools you would need to address this. Okay, supplies is going to be a caulking gun. This one here fits your standard tube. It has a piercer on the end, so it can poke a hole in the bottom in the caulk tube so that you can actually use a fresh tube. This also has a blade cutter and the handle, so you can cut the tip off of your tube and then poke your hole and you're good to go. There's different types of sealants out there. This is just an exterior silicone you can pick up at Lowe's or Home Depot or Menards, whatever the case may be. Just a basic 100% silicone, but it is exterior rated, so it's going to have some UV protection. Now when you have silicones, they are not paintable. So around the brick expansion joints we saw, this would be the application for that, so that you have a good solid bond, but you don't have any worries of needing to paint it because it's going between two brick surfaces. Now around the garage door, that area would need to go with some sort of latex sealant so that you can actually paint it. So there are exterior grade latex sealants that have some UV inhibitors built into them as well, but any sort of exterior grade latex caulking sealant that you can then paint when you're done, that way everything still looks good and presentable around the house. So when you're inspecting the exterior of the house, I like to do it in the springtime after we've had our winter, before it starts to heat up again and get hot. That way we've had a good contraction season for all the sealants, and you can get them addressed before you start getting a lot of bad weather that might allow moisture to come in behind your siding. So springtime for me here in Texas, a lot of folks will do it in the fall, but at least look at it once a year. It's not something every month you need to go out there and look at, but get around the house perimeter, take a look at it once a year just to see if you have any areas that might be allowing moisture to get into the structure. Thank you for watching PM Home Edition. I'm Sean McMullen with Sighthound Home Services. Please hit the like button at the bottom. Go ahead and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.